Introducing myself, I'm Director of Outreach, Susan Slattery. Our guest tonight is musician and songwriter Robert Kelley. And I'm joined by communications specialist and musician Eric Clow and artworks director April Sullivan. So we're going to have a Q&A at the end. We're hopefully going to have a chance to ask Robert any questions that people might have. And I've also included information in the chat about our website, artsparktx.org. You can also sign up for our newsletter there. And if you like the community conversations, you can specifically sign up for that because we will be doing those. We've been doing them 2 times a month for the most part. And we're going to get more organized in 2021 on that and doing that on the first and third Wednesdays. So the next thing coming up that you can put on your calendars for a community conversation is on November, I believe, November 18th. I wrote down Sunday, but it's Wednesday. And we're going to be commemorating Native American Indian Heritage Month with Sky How. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Eric Clow and boom.
Alrighty, hello everybody. So tonight we're happy to have Robert Kelley here, who has been the frontman of the Blue Mist band for, I think, more than 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, right, Robert? Since you guys have been performing since back in the 80s.
Yes, sir. That's about the size of it.
So
Still here.
So that's quite a run, and Blue Mist have been kind of a staple of the Austin live music scene here, and so one of I know y'all's big things are covers, and you play some phenomenal covers, but I've also written some really great original songs as well, which we'll hear more about. So, but I think we're excited to hear kind of a slightly different perspective because some of the other folks that we've had on here have really been just talking from a perspective of doing original music. So with that, I'll pass it over to Robert Kelley, who is also our ArtSpark Texas Artist of the Year this year, our first ever musician artist of the year. So that's exciting as well. All right, I'll pass it over to you, Robert.
Okay, well, like Eric said, I'm Robert Kelley. I am the leader and lead singer of the group Blue Mist Band. We normally do like restaurants, bars, wedding receptions, and corporate events. We've been playing here in the Austin area for and around Texas for over well, it would be 40 years now. Most of the members of my group are visually impaired. We graduated from the Texas School for the Blind here and then went to various colleges, here. I went to UT and some people went to St. Ed's and different places like that. Like I said, in case you're wondering why there's no video on here, my deal is I kind of wanted you guys to kind of feel what I feel normally when I interact with people out in the world and in the music community. My ears are basically my eyes. And so that would kind of give you an idea of what it's like to, navigate the city and the world I've been able to see. One thing I'd like to ask you to do after we finish with this workshop, if you would, and you maybe have done this before, put on like your favorite piece of music, and just put it on, turn off the lights, and just listen. Don't think about anything except the music. And I think you'll be surprised at how it will affect you and what you'll realize about listening. Because a lot of times vision can distract you from the music itself. Um, that's kind of what we do as a band. Since most of us are blind, we pretty much have to know where we are at all times on stage, musically, as well as the physicality of the whole thing. So I mean, it's like we can't look across stage and say, "Hey, man, uh, where are you at?" If there's a if there's a flubber dub, So we have to listen to the music and listen to each other. And we've played together so long that we kind of have a natural vibe for things. We pretty much know where the other person is going to go, and that's a pretty cool thing because when somebody feels something and it hits them, then you go along with that, and it makes the songs different because we play a lot of covers. Because the covers are the things that keep you employed, and people want to come out. They want to hear things that they know, and our job basically is to be there and to play the songs that they like. So we take a lot of requests, and um, uh, we feel like it's our job also is to you come out to hear a group, you come out to hear someone, it's to get away from whatever is you've been doing that day. It may be work, it may be a stressful day at work. It may be just you want to go out and hear some music because you feel like it. So we take a very we have a very strong attitude about presenting ourselves in a way that people will always remember that, hey, I heard a good band, the music was great, and it was fun. Also, that's kind of the way we approach our writing. I write a lot of the stuff myself because, like I said, I was a drummer and the singer, and so I write from the basis of drums and piano or bass, because that to me is the foundation. So we write like that, and so when we get together, what I do is I may have an idea for a song, and I may have a basic rhythm, and I may have a basic lyrics, a melody or something like that. And what I do is I give it to the guys, and I say, okay, here is what I have in mind. So it's kind of like a skeleton, and they take it and they put the meat on the bones, so to speak, So so I say, take this. Here's your part. Play whatever you feel, because that allows the song to change and to evolve, and not be, so much of just me. So that's kind of my attitude. But ultimately, we we don't work with shorts or anything like that. It's all done from a hearing perspective. We listen, we write, we throw something out, and I think that that's pretty much the way a lot of people who have been together in groups for a long time. That's a lot of times that's the way they write their music. Somebody will come with an idea, and then everybody will feed off of that or play off of that, and that's how we do it now. My song "Valentine's Lady" that you guys have there, I wrote that song in about 5 minutes. Uh, it came to me. I
Hey,
wasn't thinking
Robert.
about it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to give us 1 second. We can project this up on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you can continue. I just wanted to give them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got it. We got it up here now.
You got
We've
it
got
up
it
there.
up here now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that song, like I said, came to me. Just came to me. I wasn't sitting down. Had no idea about writing or anything. It came to me, and I wrote it. The lyrics, the melody, and everything in about 5 minutes. And that was that was pretty rare because normally it doesn't happen like that. And I think if you talk to other people that write songs, they'll say that they will say the same thing. Sometimes you get an idea and it'll be an inspiration. You know, it'll come to you and everything is right there. All the parts are there. Um, and so that song has evolved quite a bit. You know, like when I first wrote it, you know, the lyrics were a little bit different. I had to tweak the words a little bit. And then, of course, when I gave it to my guys, they added their own ideas on what it, you know, from how the music made them feel. And that was pretty cool. So it's pretty much the same, but it's different, you know. And like what we did was, which is probably always a cool thing to do if you're writing a song. Sometimes, if you want to make it a little bit different and to change it up and to just kind of catch a person's ear, you can throw in a modulation in there, take it up like a half step or something like that, because people don't normally expect that. But that's one of the tools that's really good to use when you're writing if you want to make your song a little different, you know, as opposed to writing a change. But like I said, we write from just, you know, what we feel, and I'll write most of the lyrics. I'll have it in Braille and I'll give it to the guys and let them read it first. And, you know, tell me what you think about the song. When you see these lyrics, these words, what does it mean to you? And then we go from there. And then, like I say, if there's an instrumental stuff, like my keyboard player will write a lot of stuff, and he may have an idea for some chords, or he may have an idea about, a melody, you know, and he'll say, here's this, write me some lyrics, you know, and I'll sit down with it and I'll listen to it. And I may listen to it through it several times to see how it makes me feel and what am I feeling from it, what kind of vibe I'm getting from from the music. And then I'll write around that. So, and most of my songs off of this album, which is called Valentine's Lady, that's kind of like the title cut. Most of those songs came from me just sitting down and writing, and some of them were like a combination of other songs. I took one part and I added it to another piece of a song that kind of fit, and it made a whole different song. So I do that sometimes too. So my thing is like, you know, if you're gonna write songs, always gonna have some way to, you know, even if it's just a little bit of a song, even if it's just a phrase that come to you, put it down somewhere. You know, even if you just can hum it in your phone or put it on tape, because you never know when you go back and you revisit it, it may give you another idea for something else. And so that's pretty much how, you know, I write songs. And you know, now I understand that songwriting can come to you in different ways. Some people, I have friends that sit down, and what they do is they sit down and they decide, well, I'm going to write a song. One of my friends, over this COVID situation, he's written 280 songs. But
Wow.
Wow.
that's what he does. So he loves to write songs, and he's got ideas, you know, and he just put everything down. He writes, constantly writing, you know. But that's not me, you know. I'll have to be motivated, or else sometimes I'll sit down and I feel like writing, you know. Or else a lot of times I get a lot of my songs from like when I'm in when I'm in the shower and I have some music playing in the other room and I can barely hear like the bass of the drums or something like that. Sometimes that'll give me an idea for a different song, you know. And a lot of times I will dream songs, you know, and that's kind of frustrating because sometimes it's so good that you wake yourself up because you know that you're going to forget it. But you know, I have what they call lucid dreams, and I always know. So I've heard some really great songs, and some of them I can recapture by, you know, just humming a melody part of it. So that's why I always keep a tape recorder or my phone by the bed, so that when I do get something like that, I can just jump up and put it on there. And sometimes when I listen back to it, it sounds crazy. Other times it comes back to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is great. but there's different ways to approach writing, and whatever works for you is cool. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no set way in my way of thinking to write. It's whatever inspire you. That's pretty much what I have to
Right
say.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Susan, can you bring us back into the regular mode?
Yes.
I miss all y'all's faces. Okay. I was just gonna throw in there, Robert, just to mirror one of the things you said about, having a tape recorder handy. Well, I don't know how many of us here have smartphones, but there's I have iPhone. We all have iPhones here in this household, but all
Yep.
iPhones have that voice memo app, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
it's never been easier to capture those little fragments of either a lyrical idea or a melody idea. I mean, I have voice memos up the wazoo, just like
I know. That's a beautiful thing. I love that. Yeah.
yeah. So, Robert, do you have a writing prompt in mind for us to try?
Um, I've thought about that, and um, what I was thinking was, um, maybe I was thinking about to write something. Take this time to write about something that like to express yourself. To write something that you would like me or someone else to know about you when it comes to your your process, the way you approach writing songs. What would you like somebody to know how when you sit down? And it's kind of like also kind of like an inner vision things, like how does it make you feel when you sit down and you want to write a song? What do you use to get you in the mood to write? Uh, so that's kind of what I was saying. Just if I came to you and said, "Look, you want to, you want to write a song, so okay, write me a couple lines of something that uh, tells me something about you, kind of, and also about what you like to write about, what topics, what um, subjects would you like to write about? What makes you? How do you express yourself? Do you like to write love songs? Do you like to write songs about things, plants, trees, different stuff like that? That's what I was kind of thinking. I don't know if that
Okay.
makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about that there's maybe several little mini prompts in here that we could we could maybe give people an option of a couple different ones. So like maybe one of them could be how do you express yourself? And maybe another one could be what inspires you?
Yep.
Do people like either of those as different options? Um, I'm trying to think of one other thing that I heard in your well, let's see what we come up with for that. We could give everyone maybe 7 minutes.
Thank you to our ArtSpark Texas funders, Texas Commission on the Arts, National Endowment for the Arts Creative Forces, St. David's Foundation, Cultural Arts City of Austin Economic Development, and Reeve Foundation Quality of Life Program.